A very warm welcome to you. It's my pleasure as always to welcome you to this week's edition of the program, Almond Finance and Wealth Report, your one-stop shop for all the latest happenings in the world of business. My name is Margaret Mary Osiobor. You're welcome. On the lineup this week, we joined Faith and her guests, Olola Olabode Ogunlano, the doyen of insurance, for the continuation of their discussion on the insurance industry. According to the doyen, they are professionals and they are real insurance professionals. Do take a listen.
There are professionals and there are professionals. Some of them are fake. You see, to profess something, you have to know it. Many of them don't even know insurance. So how can they profess?
On this edition also, we will bring you highlights of the National Insurance Commission Media Parley with insurance correspondents and business editors in Lagos, where they announced the long-awaited kickoff of risk-based capital for the insurance industry. Explaining details of the guideline implementation, Mr. Baroneka Thompson, Director of Supervision, NICOM, said that improper capital structures can lead to the extinction of the insurance industry. To take a listen.
Improper capital structures can lead to the extinction of the insurance industry. Should NICOM wait? Should the industry wait? Should the press also wait on the operators go into extinction?
Plus, of course, all the other extras bring you each week on this program, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the lineup. Details in just a moment. Please stay with us.
You won't go! I swear to God, you won't go today! Faster! This papa is damage our car! Don't break us! Master, don't drink! Don't break my car! You must buy today! Don't beg us!
If you had insurance, you will be begging me.
Master, don't let him go! You must buy today!
You were the first indigenous managing director of Nikon Insurance Corporation, which was the flagship of the nation's insurance industry. But sadly today, that institution that gave platform for so many people who ended up being real professionals in the insurance industry, that institution is no more. What would you say was responsible or is responsible for that?
Well, when you start at a venture, there must be objectives. You must be aiming at a goal. The objectives for which Nikon was set up, the objectives we set at that time, we followed it when we were there. But when others took up and they veered off the objective, they can't reach the goal that we intended them to reach. So there must be coordination. You must be purposeful. You must be focused. When you make a plan, you must follow that plan. As and when it becomes necessary to modify it, you do that. But that's what we have not been doing. So I'm not surprised that Nikon today is no longer what it used to be. Nikon was the regulator, the reinsurer, the insurer, the role model. It was everything. And we were training staff for other companies, for other countries. Nikon of today is a shell of what it used to be.
Okay, then finally, sir, let's talk about professionalism. In your era, we have the best of professionals practicing insurance business. Do you still see that today?
Of course, the answer is no. When I joined insurance, we had the Accident Insurance Association, we had the Fire Officers Committee, we had all sorts of committees, marine, life, and this. We hold meetings, we agree certain standards, and we adhere to them. But today, they don't adhere to standards. When you all agree that you will charge X, someone will go and charge X minus.
Why is that? Why do you think that?
Because they are not professionals, because they are not cut out for insurance. They should not be in that profession. There are so many misfits in Nigeria, and insurance is not an exception. Only people who have the risk management frame of mind should go into insurance. Many of them don't even know what risk management is, let alone how to practice it. They want to make money. They have connections. They undercut. You must have a standard of what you charge as insurance cost. Many of them will not work that out. What is Mr. X charging? 3X. Oh, I will charge you X. And then when the claims happens, he will abscond. So that is not insurance, that is gambling. You see, this is why we are in the state we are in today.
But sir, sorry, sometimes you hear these people say that, oh, we are under a lot of pressure from our boards to deliver. And sometimes the people that make up boards, the boards are professionals like you who have practiced and are no longer in the system. So they claim they are the ones that put them under pressure to undercut and give all sorts of funny discounts so they can make profits at the end of the day.
There are professionals and there are professionals. Some of them are fake. You see, to profess something, you have to know it. Many of them don't even know insurance. So how can they profess? In my company, when you come to us and give us a business, and we tell you that it will cost you that much, and you say it's too high, we say go to another shop. That's it. But they will want it at all costs. They just want the premium, not with a view to paying any claims. Oh no, they want to be rich. But what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
Okay, sir, at 77, you went back to school. Do you consider that the most adventurous thing you've done in your life?
It is not a matter of adventure. Even life itself is a school. I'm still at school. I'm still learning, and I will continue to learn until I breathe my last. I want to improve myself. I'd been a storyteller in scouting. I was called Okpiton. And I wanted to learn how to tell good stories. So I went for creative writing course in Oxford. Then it was pointed out to me that I would do even better if I were to go and do literature. So I went back. At 77, I did a BA, I did an MA, and I'm studying for the doctorate now. What's wrong with that? For as long as you have the ability and the brain is still sharp, what stops you from studying, from being a student? We are all learning to be ready for the next plane of life. This life is a preparation for the higher life. I am indestructible because God has put his breath into my nose. This body will be destroyed, but the soul of God, the breath of God, can never be destroyed. It's immortal. So I am trying every day to make it sharper and better, to be ready for the next plane. I'm a student. I'm proud to be a student. I will always be.
Finally, so what's your advice for the younger generation or the present generation of insurance practitioners and future practitioners of insurance?
You want me to be frank?
Yes, sir.
Human beings don't learn from history. The Yorubas would say, "Ẹṣin iwájú ni tẹ̀yìn ń wò sáré." You look at the horse in front of you, so get your own pace. You should learn from history. Whether the people like it or not, the trinity of time will always hold. Without yesterday, there cannot be today. Without today, there cannot be tomorrow. So all three are inextricably linked. Therefore, history is important. The Yorubas would say, Bo ba ti egbotan, o gba roba. Aroba is history. If you are not taking part in an event, and subsequently it is related to you, you have to learn from it. History is the accretion of what has been taking place before you. But in Nigeria, no, we don't learn from history. Can you imagine that a government agency will just descend on a forest that is 600 years old and start knocking down all the trees and polluting all the rivers just because it is the government? No sense of history. It's very sad to be a Nigerian this time, honest. Don't ask me any more questions.
Thank you. And then I'd like to say very big thank you, sir, for finding time to talk to us on the program.
It's been a pleasure. I wish I could discuss more pleasant things.
Words of wisdom from an elder statesman. We must learn from our history if we are to achieve the needed change we cry about as a people. Moving on now, we bring you highlights of the NICOM press briefing in Lagos, where they officially announced the commencement of a risk-based capital regime for the insurance industry. Now, risk-based capital does not necessarily mean that insurance companies must raise additional capital, but that those who want to underwrite big-ticket risks must have matching capital. Happy viewing.
The industry cannot continue to operate at the present level if we are to make a difference in the ability of the financial services sector to stimulate growth in the economy. And following that meeting, of course, there was a consensus to the fact that the operating capital had to be tinkered with for us to optimize the potential of the market, the insurance market. The commission, the National Insurance Commission, went back and it settled how to achieve the mandate, or if you like, the agreement that was reached at that meeting, and that is how to stimulate capital increase that will enable the market optimize its potential. A committee was set up to work out a process whereby, very much unlike what we've had in the past, where a uniform minimum capital was stated, it was a kind of a one cap fits all. But of course, it's no longer names. That several jurisdictions all over the world have since migrated to risk-based supervision. And indeed, the Nigerian market had actually incepted the risk-based supervision model by issuing some framework that will enable us achieve a high level of compliance. Fit and proper persons manage the affairs of the commission, of the industry.
Of course, the sector was also assisted with the coming on stream of the IFRS, which increases the level of transparency that is required in financial reports. Now, we have gotten to the stage where we think that the capital that is required to transact business will no longer be such as you will acquire any business with your current capital. In which case, whatever business you want to transact, you must have capital, sufficient capital to back that business up. In other words, the adoption of risk-based capital is here with us. And I must quickly say that the adoption of risk-based capital varies from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. So what we be seeing is essentially homegrown model. So, of course, as far as I start from the West African sub-region, most of the policies you have in the West African region actually started from Nigeria. So it's not going to be too long from now, I'm quite confident, that other jurisdictions will begin to come to find out how we did it. And of course, we are willing to share from our success story. So this afternoon, we'll take you through some of the issues that are involved. The determination, how we came about the tier capitalization system that is being promoted. We will also let you into what minimum capital in each tier will look like. Somebody might be concerned about gap being created. Of course, we have taken care of that with transitional arrangements. You also, a presenter will also tell you all the issues that are involved. Then we've also put in place monitoring device, which will ensure sustainability. And I will quickly let you know that before we got to this stage, we have incepted the process of educating every staff of the commission. So when you ask anybody in the commission, nobody is going to claim not to know exactly what we're talking about. It's as important to us as that. The first phase of that sensitization has commenced. Of course, we are not unaware of likely challenges, but all of that have been reasonably taken care of. We are not saying what we have done is totally perfect, but to a large extent, we believe we can run with what we have right now. And as we implement, we adjust along the line. It's not cast in iron. And this morning, we had a meeting with all the CEOs because their input will also contribute to ease of compliance and ease of adoption. There is no doubt about it. If some of us will cast our mind back, when the policy on no premium, no cover was announced, there was a high level of resistance, even though it's for the benefit of the market. So we are not unaware of the possibility of some level of resistance to this. But of course, we count heavily, in as much as we have done all that we think we should do and are still doing. We count on the media to assist in properly disseminating the information relating to this current initiative, because it has a way of assisting in the effective implementation. Again, we believe that when we create the required awareness and impart the necessary knowledge, you will be in the right state to explain to the public what we are doing. We also have identified the various stakeholders, and we will be addressing them in segments. We recognize the board of directors of companies, who are the policymakers in the companies. We will be having a session with them. Various cadre in the management structure of companies, the CFOs, the chief executives, and the different people in the different sections that we aid decision making. We will also be addressing them at different times. But sufficient for me to let you know that we count on you and the power that is at the tip of your pen to assist in effective dissemination of this initiative.
We have numerous complaints of claims not being settled and all of that. How can claims be settled when you are using the same 2 billion and 3 billion in 2007 that you are using to pursue a 10 million sum insured to pursue a 100 million sum insured today with the same capital? And so if only 2 out of the 10 claims we were able to pay in 2007 should occur today, you can wipe off all. That's the truth. And so we have reflected also, and the insurance core principles number 24 out of the 26 principles, 24.1, states in part, and it says, the supervisor identifies underlying trends in the industry and in the market and in the world market. They develop and apply proportionate tools that take into account the nature, the scale, and complexity of insurance, as well as non-core activities of insurance rules. And these are all aimed at limiting significant systemic risk in the system. If we can achieve this, then we'll just be happy that we are delivering all we have signed off and the promises we have given to the insured.
You expect the present operators to move to tiers 2 and 1, and will they be driven by business availability? If yes, does the present economy accommodate that? Again, if the scenario emerges that only few companies move to a sovereign capital, how will the risk that will emerge or exist be covered by only few companies, when insurance is about sharing risk with many, and only few are probably 1 and 2? That would mean some taking 60, 40, or 17 share of the risk. How is it profitable for them if the risk covered?
And that is our show for this week. Many thanks for being a part of it. I do hope you enjoyed every moment spent with us. Do join us again next week, same time, same station, for a fresh package. But in the meantime, feel free as always to connect with us on all our social media platforms. Now don't forget to join us live every Wednesday on Niger FM 102.7 by 9:45 a.m. for our Pidgin English program, Waiting Insurance They Do Sef. The program also airs on the Denibo 99.1 FM Obosi, Anambra State every Thursday by 12:30 p.m. Once again, my name is Margaret Mary Osiobor. Thanks for watching. Until next week, from the entire crew, it's goodbye.